Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. Welcome to the 14 First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock here on October the 28th. We're ticking down the days to Halloween and the end of the month. We're also looking at heavy rainfall moving in here soon. If you have questions or comments, you can put those on the 14 News Facebook page, and we'll see what you're thinking here in a couple of minutes. What a nasty night out there. We've just had that nuisance drizzle and cold conditions, cloudy skies, gray. It's enough to make you want to just stay in bed, and tomorrow might be the day to do that too, as it will rain all day long on Wednesday before we start to clear things out on Thursday morning and evening, and then that sets the stage for a sunny Halloween. So that's kind of our checklist here of things to get through. But when we look at just the radar picture here, with the heavier returns, you're not going to see much. However, if I turn on the lighter returns on here, this would be just that drizzle that we have coming in now. Plenty of that to go around, and we will just continue to see that. Let me put it back here on the light rain so we can see that. And all right, close enough. So that's going to be the first part of the weather story here, is just that drizzle and nasty stuff out there. Now, as we go into the overnight hours, we have a lot more rain waiting out here to the west, and that's what we'll be spinning in here through the day on Wednesday. Our rain chances 100% tomorrow. We know that it's going to be a soaker, and then it will taper off during the first half of Thursday. So from midnight to noon is when the rain will shut down. Our hour by hour is just painted with green here. There will be rain for everyone and plenty of it through the day. Heaviest rain may fall over western Kentucky, and you'll notice here that everything is kind of moving in a clockwise circle, and that's because low pressure is tracking to our south across Tennessee, so that will drive the rain as it moves through. Eventually the winds will shift around to the northwest behind that low, and that will pull down the drier air, which will get rid of the cloud cover and restore sunshine to the area. These numbers have not fluctuated on our graph model. This is the one that we have here internally at the station for rain potential. So 1.5 inches looks like a good bet, and that would be inclusive of whatever falls up through midnight tonight, all the way through the first half of the day on Thursday. Our temperatures remain suppressed here through Sunday. Monday we might break out and see another 65. Those get harder to hit, by the way, the farther we go into November. As you know, I mean, we're heading toward winter. Of course, it doesn't get up to 65 very often. Around the area now, because of the cloud cover, our temperatures are kind of equalized out there, so there really isn't much to that aspect of the story. We did get up to 59 today, much to my surprise. Even with the clouds and the early rain, we just managed to squeak up there. And for the rainfall for today, it was minimal. We had about 0.06 of an inch. The big, blockbuster will be tomorrow. We're already 1.5 inches ahead of normal, so the drought should be ended for everybody here after Wednesday's rainfall. No big drama there on the temperature. It will pretty much flatline as long as that rain is coming down. And you can see it goes all the way up to Minneapolis. No snow showing here, so we have enough warm air around to keep everything as just liquid precip and no frozen stuff out there. Of course, the tragic story here, at least in weather, is that Category 5 hurricane that moved across Jamaica. It has now weakened to Category 3. This is Melissa, and will now move across Cuba. It may strengthen again briefly before making landfall in Cuba, back to Category 4, then out into the open waters of the Atlantic, heading toward Bermuda by Thursday afternoon and Friday. The biggest hurricane of the season so far is Melissa. All right, hour by hour. I think we've kind of beaten this drum to death. You know it's going to rain, and that low is going to move through, and that we have high pressure coming our way, and there really isn't any escape from the rain or any of that. Let's look ahead here to the weekend. And to do that, well, okay, we'll just skip past that. It's going to be dry for the weekend. So rain moving in late tonight down to 51 degrees, then only up to 53 tomorrow with heavy rainfall during the day. And over the weekend, our temps will get back into the 60s by Sunday, mid-60s Monday. Halloween, you'll have to bundle up your little ghosties and beasties out there. It will be kind of chilly, especially after dark there on Friday night. And we're expecting temperatures to remain at or slightly below normal through the weekend, and then maybe perking up a bit early next week, and dry weather sets in too on that long-range outlook. All right, now we have a different kind of pet pick for you tonight. This came from Joan Bittner, I think Grayville. It's in Illinois, either Carmi or Grayville. And she has a chameleon who is going at Maui, the chameleon. In case you run into Maui, you want to call by the right name. And Maui is going as a cowboy for Halloween. And don't ask where you get cowboy hats for a chameleon. Somebody out there knows. You know, the internet is a wonderful place, or it can be a wonderful place. So if you just can't find the right costume for your chameleon, either get in touch with Joan Bittner or consult Google. I'm sure AI will probably tell you the best clothes for your chameleon. That's really cool, though. I don't know that I've seen a chameleon up that close. And I assume he's blending in here with his hat and the leaves back there. Those are the ones that change color. Okay. We'll let the chameleon get in on some of the fun. William Raleigh had, looks like a little bit of rain there. Jeff Miller, a hundredth of an inch of mist, yeah. Angie Wampler says it was drizzly up in Vincennes today. And we've got Cheyenne Hammonds in there, Janet Stapleton, Darlene Ezel. Let's see, William Raleigh. Okay, he had 1,600ths of precip so far today. Adam Lewigs, how does next week look? I got to hurt some dirt next week. Well, it's going to be mud after the rain. I think by early next week it should be dried out a little bit. So hopefully you'll have some decent weather in there. Actually look more typical fall type conditions. Zach Sheets, is Evansville likely to get plain old rain tomorrow? Yes, I don't think we're going to be able to muster any thunder with those temperatures in the 50s and not much, well, none of the severe parameters really filling up at all. Speaking of which, I've been doing the research for our fall-winter preview, which will be coming up on November the 6th, or a week from Thursday. And of course, we're going to look back. That is the 20th anniversary of the Evansville Newburgh tornado that hit on November the 6th, 2005. But one of the things that I wanted to look at and talk about for our winter forecast, which will be at the end of that show next week, is how does a La Nina pattern, which is what we're entering into, affect tornado activity. And of course, you know, these things are highly, highly variable. But as it so happens, in La Nina years, and those are the ones in blue here on the screen, we have had, you know, a significant number of tornadoes in many of those years. The most recent La Nina year was 2023, and as you know, we had a pretty active year then as well. And then on the snow side of things, that's a little more of a coin toss. We've had La Nina years that produced a lot of snow, and we've had many that underperformed on snowfall. So it's been a real conundrum to try to figure out, you know, how it might play out going into the winter here ahead. But one thing that seems certain is that we are entering into La Nina, which is cooler waters in the Pacific Ocean off of South America that then have an impact on weather patterns up here in the tri-state. So I'll have a few more tidbits on the winter outlook as I read more and study a little bit more in what's happened. It's kind of like, you know, how you see those commercials for investments, and, you know, past results don't predict future returns. And it's a lot that way in weather, even though you can look back and say, well, in La Nina years, this, that, or the other has happened. It's no guarantee that we will repeat it. So anyhow, that's our challenge here, and we will lay all that out for you in our fall-winter preview. That's next Thursday night, November the 6th, and it'll be on at 6:30 right after the news. All right, so that's all I have for you tonight. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you on 14 News at 10 o'clock. Stay safe.